And here in Idaho, today was the hottest day of the year, and many farm workers were out in that heat without the luxury of air conditioning. CBS 2's Angela Kerndl find out what protections are in place for those workers.
Unlike our neighbors Washington and Oregon, who recently passed regulations to protect workers from excessive heat, we don't have rules specific to heat here in Idaho. Irene Ruiz used to work in the fields. Now she advocates for farm workers.
They have mentioned there are times that they get really dizzy and they feel like passing out.
In Washington and Oregon, 2 farm workers passed out and died last year because of the heat. Those states now have rules in place to protect outdoor workers from heat. For example, in Washington, once it hits 89 degrees, employers must provide at least a quarter gallon of water every hour, adequate shade, and paid cool-down breaks. But in Idaho, there are no such rules.
We have recommendations, we don't have regulations. I think they feel left out because they feel like no one's really paying attention to them here in Idaho.
Sean Ellis with the Idaho Farm Bureau says farmers follow common sense to keep their workers safe in the sun. They provide plenty of water, rest, and shade, and many start the workday early before the worst of the heat. He says it's in their best interest to do so.
Farmers on a human level, of course they want to take care of their employees. They don't want anyone to get hurt. The biggest issue right now in agriculture in the U.S. and Idaho for several years now has been the workforce. The last thing a farmer wants to do, obviously, is jeopardize their employees' health.
Ruiz tells a different story. She grew up working fields of beets, beans, and onions. She fears it will take someone dying here to get state regulations.
We don't see farm workers as commodities. We see farm workers as human beings who deserve respect and deserve protections because they're the ones who put food on our tables.
Often, she says it's up to the workers themselves to decide when to take breaks. And if they decide they have to stop, then they don't get paid.
If they're not working out there, they don't get paid. They don't, provide for their families.
As for work standards, the governor's office and the Department of Labor point to state lawmakers. Any law regulating farm workers has to come from the legislature. Ruiz says her organization is collecting donations for its heat and smoke relief fund. Throughout the summer, they deliver things like water, ice, hats, and sunscreen to help farm workers get through the extreme heat. We have a link to that fund on idahonews.com.